Hey, here we are.
Hey.
Bonus coverage today, everybody.
Yes.
A little early on the show. We're ready to get it going. We're anxious. We're chomping at the bit on this Wednesday morning, Barry. It's the first day of July, if my calendar is correct.
Can you believe it? Already we are 6 months done with the 6 months done with the with the year, 6 months to go.
Yep.
And it just seems like, we were just starting 2026 and I hope it's
really
a great
does.
year. And gosh, I don't know. This is going too fast.
Yeah, I'm not going to reference. It seems like yesterday I was watching the Rose Bowl game. I'm not going to go back there again. That was in
Not
June.
Today.
We were in July. And I'm turning over a new leaf. I feel like it's time to move on. 6 months down. We're heading to the last 6 months of 2026. It's time to turn the page. Don't you think? Don't you think?
I think.
Okay.
I don't believe you're going to do it.
It's going to be tough.
So you're telling me that as of the 1st of July, there's no more, what they don't need to do is have any more of those 35-point butt whoopings. I'm telling you, Braves fans, it's happening again. I told you this was going to happen. And
here we go.
Boy, I'm telling you, they better not lose any one of their first 5 games or any of the stuff that's been. Yeah.
Just don't do it. Barry, as well as I do.
Yeah.
East Carolina, Kentucky, Florida State, South Carolina, Mississippi State. They lose one of those 5. Whoo, it is gonna be rough.
You just did it. You just did it.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
That was the words barely got out of our mouths. And the first sentence John had is, I better not lose any of those first 5 games.
Better not.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight.
Like Barry just mentioned, some teams lost 3 in a row in Major League Baseball. 7 of their last 10. Just saying,
he's doing it. We're not even 2 minutes in. Well, 3 minutes in because we hit the ground running here. And there's other things in this great, big, wide, beautiful world to talk about. The sports world includes things like, I don't know, Bosnia and Herzegovina play in the United States.
I don't want to sound dumb, but what's with the double name? Did I miss that in geography or whatever econ
They're
class?
2 different ethnic regions.
Yeah.
But they have incorporated into one country. It's kind of like William and Mary, and
it's kind of like Haiti and the Dominican Republic. They're both on the same island, but they got this line right in the middle of them.
Yeah, one side speaks Spanish, one side speaks French. I don't know that they're ever going to get together, but
no.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, to be honest with you. You got the Herzegovinians, and you got the Bosnians, and I don't know.
Who you rooting for?
Yeah. It's so there's, gosh. We could talk about Auburn.
Okay, well, one of my favorite subjects. Certainly.
We could talk about whether or not Auburn needs to lose, can afford to lose, or will win any of their first 5
games. Let me ask you a question. Since you brought up Auburn, I could just maybe I'm out of the loop. I don't know. What is with it on websites devoted to one particular school? And there's a picture of a player who you can't see his face because he's got one of those shields on the helmet that is darkened in, so you can't see who it is.
Yeah.
And he's wearing number 19, and he's going like this. And Alex Golesh is standing right next to him going like this too. Well, what are they trying to keep quiet?
I like it. I don't really know what we're talking about.
It's Auburn Undercover. It's one of my favorite Auburn sites. I'm looking at it right now.
Preston Williams. Preston Williams is a commit from last week before. And maybe they're doing that because he's a sleeper.
Sleeper. I
Won't wake
like
him
that.
up. Maybe he's a sleeper because they got he's a defensive back. He's a rangy defensive back, 6'2", 180 pounds. He's from Skipperville, Alabama.
You know, that's near the Wiregrass, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. It's down to G.W. Long.
Troy
had a fullback, a very good blocking fullback named Zach Weldon from Skipperville. That sounds like a happy place. I don't know that I've ever been to Skipperville, but it's hard to be depressed when you're from Skipperville.
I'm with you.
Anyway, Preston Williams, he's a 3-star. He's the number 64 player in Alabama. So he didn't even show up on that top 10 list of Alabama players. That would have been, he was 54 places off of that list. According to AuburnUndercover.com, he chose Auburn over Jacksonville State, South Alabama, and others.
I like that. Is that kind of like load more and others? I like that. State, South Alabama, and others.
So I don't understand, that's kind of the mod thing to do, the cool, the in thing to do. Like when you score a touchdown or something.
Yeah.
You turn and you tell the crowd to hush, but it's your own crowd. You do it, you're doing that at home. I'm thinking, why do you want them to hush? You're at home. Yeah. You want them to be cheering for you. Barry, also you're doing that because you don't want to wake anybody up. You're a sleeper,
okay.
Which is why I don't know. Which is why you put the dark polarized sunshade over your face as well. I couldn't tell you who Preston Williams was, even if I could see his face.
Preston Gothard, but not Preston Williams. Preston from another small community. Yeah. Lounsboro, played for Lowndes Academy, went on to catch an incredible pass in the back of the end zone up at Happy Valley that the official said he was out of the end zone.
For you people under 60.
Went on to play for the Steelers.
For the people under 60, he's Preston Gothard played at the University of Alabama.
Oh, sure, everybody knows that.
So we flipped to that real quick. I did get about 2 minutes in on Auburn before we turned it back, even though technically John never mentioned Alabama because the default reference on this show, if you're talking about a player and you don't mention what school he went to, the default assumption is that he went to, Alabama. So
yeah. But see, Bear, I don't get this. I want people to know who I am. Look, I'm a little surprised. Maybe it's a little sensitive. I don't know why the throat slash hasn't made it and been more popular. I don't know. You score a touchdown, you look at the team and go, But no, people say that.
Yeah, you get a penalty now if you do that.
Yeah, you can't do it anymore. Thanks, OJ. Hey,
but
can't do it.
It just doesn't. I never could understand that. You score a touchdown at Jordan-Hare Stadium, which didn't happen often enough last several years. And the kid, the Tulane transfer, had a pick six in a game, and can't think of his name. Pleasant, and he turned and he's in the crowd. And I'm thinking, you're at home. What are you doing? You don't want them to hush. You want them to yell. And I think it's passé. I think, when and I don't know what I'm talking about. On the blackjack table.
Yeah, okay.
When John's got an 8 and a 3, and the dealer flips a 10 on there, John's not going.
No.
He ain't telling the other people.
Well, the first thing I'm doing, I'm looking to see if that dealer's got that 5 or 6 up, and then I'm pushing another pile of chips up there, and I'm saying, I want this one down. She flips it down. I let her play it out, whether she busts or not. Then I flip over that one-eyed jack on top of that 8 and 3, and I just look at her and smile. I don't give you
no throat slash.
I'm not high-fiving my buddies.
There's no finger to your lips.
No, not at all.
No.
You're just saying, let's deal them again, honey. Let's go.
Yeah.
Keep them coming. Cocktails. Man, miss those days. I got to get back out there.
Yeah. But so I don't mind it. It triggers some people out there, and who knows? Preston Williams may turn out to be Roger McCreary or somebody, Daniel Thomas from here in Montgomery, who was not overly highly recruited, but turns out to be a multi-year NFL player out of Auburn as well. But
I've got to get with Gurn Senior. I think we had a fraternity brother from Skipperville. I mean, when you said that, I went, I know Skipperville. I've heard that before.
It's not there's a lot of places that you think, that people from, and you can't even really remember because they're like average kind of names.
Yeah.
Like Midland City or
Midland City.
Like Jackson.
Yeah.
Alabama, Jackson, Tennessee, Jackson, Georgia.
Where's Jackson, Alabama?
I just know there's a high school there, so I don't know. But Skipperville. I mean, it sounds like a place where Mr. Rogers' neighborhood would be. Hey, Skipperville, that sounds fun. What is that? Is that a real name or is that like a Disney village or something? No, it's a real place. It's a real place. It's not very far from where I am right now.
Theota says it's in northeast Alabama, Jackson, Alabama. Yeah. Is that where Jacksonville State is?
No. Well, Jacksonville State is near Gadsden and Anniston.
Okay.
That's east, but it's So there's
wait a minute. Clark County's down there where Thomasville is, isn't it? That's in south of here. Wait, y'all are confusing me here. Somebody says northeast. Somebody says Clark County. Jeff says small town. You're the closest. Well, I will say it is a small town.
Okay.
I'm going with that.
So there we go. I don't know why we got off on that, but now we have a general idea of where Jackson, Alabama is.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, okay. But this is not just our friends on the Auburn websites who put out a lot of content, even though there's not a lot going on.
Huge.
Latest intel on Wednesday's loaded list of football commitments.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn adds another pitching piece to the 2027 baseball roster. I like that guy, but he only pitched like 13 innings last year from Jacksonville State. And Jason Caldwell with his 2026 opponent breakdown. That's part of a series from our friend Jason at AuburnUndercover.com.
We'll talk to him tomorrow.
Yep. Game 12 at Alabama. And he breaks down the Crimson Tide. Year 3, and I'll just read this to Jason.
Yep.
Year 3 under Coach Kalen DeBoer is going to be an important one for Alabama. With a record of 20-8 in his 2 years, he's been solid, but that's not the expectations for the program. That means there is pressure heading into the season with Alabama having to replace its quarterback and some key players on both sides. He says it's an interesting schedule for Alabama because it looks like an opportunity to get off to a good start, but there could also be some stumbling blocks for this group. After opening with East Carolina, they travel to Kentucky in week 2. That's as much of a wild card as any game on the schedule, with Will Stein taking over the Wildcats. From there, however, things turn very different. Georgia comes to town to start a very tough run for Alabama. They go to Tennessee, then at home versus Texas A&M the next 2 weeks. Before a week off, leading up to the game against LSU. This is an Alabama team. This is from the Auburn website. This is an Alabama team that has talent, but also some potential holes on both sides of the ball. While they are talented enough to win any game on the schedule, do we agree with that? We agree with that, right? They are talented enough to win any game on the schedule. It also won't be surprising to see them hit some serious bumps in the road this year. If that is the case, the heat is going to turn up tremendously for DeBoer, contract extension or not.
I can't argue with that.
Jason's he's pretty smart now.
Yeah, I think he's spot on. I've mentioned that Kentucky game already. I don't know what the early line is on that game, but Kentucky will be an underdog at home in Lexington. Yeah. I feel confident in saying that, and I think grabbing the points with the home team could be a good financial move for you. But we'll get closer to that when September 12th rolls around. But that's one I've got my eye on. I think that could be, you got that opener, 11 o'clock. Dun, 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 dun. Bryant Denny, hot as it can be. You got Florida State, week 3 revenge game. Oh, yeah, you got to go to Lexington in between. Oh, yeah, I guess we do. Okay, let's go ahead and take care of business up there, and we'll come on back. That could be some trouble. Excuse me.
That's all right.
I get it. I mean, that's just one I've got my eye on. But that's part of a package of 5 games, Barry, that they better not lose. They lose one of those 5. Ooh. You think Bob from Pike Road's been opinionated over the spring and summer? You let him drop one of those 5. Whew. What was that phrase that we were introduced to from Joe yesterday? What he called the capstone, or
the disowned at the capstone?
Yeah, disowned.
Talking about the coaching staff. Yeah. Joe also says Bama in the Kentucky game, a 5.5-point early favorite. That's from Coach Bohannon. I love
Joe's on that
Bohannon
guy. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's big. It's big. There's no doubt. And Bear, I think it would also be refreshing if they could get through that 5. How do they say it? Comfortably. Bama fan doesn't want any nail biters, pulling it out in the last 2 minutes, all that kind of junk. They're ready for some smooth easing into the season, winning comfortably, and then setting their sights for the Dogs of Georgia on October the 10th.
It ain't that kind of a team. College football ain't that kind of a thing, hardly anymore. 9 games in the SEC. There's not many of those games anymore. The talent has kind of leveled out some, with really everybody, it seems like, is going to have a good quarterback because, you don't have a bunch of them stockpiled here and there. You got them kind of all over the place. There's going to be some nail biters.
Okay.
We're going to see just how truly committed some of you people are to Alabama football, or are you just supporting winning successful Alabama football? And they'll be successful and they'll win. But if they don't win enough, and now we're not even talking about, I hope they win enough. Now they're talking about, I hope they win comfortably so I don't have to worry about them. That's
I just hear what I think I heard? Are they going to support Alabama football, or are they going to support winning Alabama football? Really?
Is it going to be, 60,000 fans out there for the whatever it is?
It's one or the other. There's none of this, hey, they won. But
wasn't that comfortable? I was actually worried there for a little while. We got to get rid of it.
I don't want Theotis to be worried, because Theotis, Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician, will join us today at the top of hour number 2. I know you've been waiting to hear that. CJ Duncan in about 13 minutes will join us from Yellowhammer News. So we've got a lot of guests for you today, but wanted to let everybody know what the lineup was with CJ and Josh later today, and a lot from you on the River Region Straw chat line. It is hopping already this morning, as it normally is. We greatly appreciate everybody hopping on and chatting with us and amongst themselves. A lot of conversations going on between our viewers and listeners, which is kind of fun to see the conversations they're having.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
The following is a message from the Bud Light Party.
July 4th is the most demanding holiday of the year. Justine just wants a half. Alex needs a hot dog without a bun. And Rose says her homemade veggie burgers taste just like the real thing. So this July 4th, stock up on a sure thing. Bud Light. It's a 4th of July fixture everyone can agree to agree on. This message approved by the Bud Light Party. Raise one to right now. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272. Already about 20 minutes past the hour here on this Wednesday, Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Man, I don't know why I got the throat problems today. We'll work through that one. In association with our good friends with Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com. And you can certainly check us out there on their Facebook page, ours, YouTube, X, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes. Run it through your Bluetooth in your vehicle, whatever's most convenient for you. We do it live every weekday morning from 7 until 9. But then we throw it out there for you to consume it on your schedule. That's the beauty of this. You don't have to go, man, I want to listen to those guys, but I got to do it between 7 and 9. That's when they're on. Well, you can, like a lot of people do, or you can watch it or listen and do or both on your timetable.
More likely it's, God, those guys were so great today. Did you hear them? Man, they were on it. Golly, did you see that interview with Josh Harris? No, man, I missed it. Well, hey, I tell you what, come over, sit next to, sit in my cubicle here, and let's watch it. I can pull it up right now. Really? You can do that? Yeah. That's what happens quite a bit. People are like, oh my gosh, I want to watch that again. Did you see John? Gosh, it looked like he was coughing up a loogie. This is great. Let's see if that can happen. That happens all the time. We are, as it turns out, on our little endeavor here, pushing 1,000 subscribers.
Yes.
Warren was mentioning that last week or the week when John was on vacation, that we're pushing 1,000, which is very humbling that you guys have taken to us on this format. But we want to get to 1,000, 4 digits.
Yeah.
And we're not far. We're just a little bit. And he mentioned that we are going to, at some point when we hit 1,000, start awarding Longshore and McKnight limited edition ball caps. They're pretty cool. I've got one like in my closet.
Yeah, well, that's right.
So we're going to be doing that. So tell your friends, tell your business associates. You can get the link to every show, send it to your buddies, and hey, you got to check this out. And like our buddy Jay, who I love, he says, hit that like button
hit
too
like button
while you're at it.
Sure.
So yeah.
Hey, Bill from Baltimore. I hear you working there, Bill. But I mean, never gets old. I mean, look, I don't wake up in the morning and go, what can I do to gig the Albs today? I don't want that to be the impression out there. I don't want people to
normally he doesn't have to. Normally he wakes up and the second thing he does when he wakes up in the morning is checks his phone, which by the time, overnight is over with, it is a veritable cornucopia of texts and links and graphics.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see this one? This really colorful graphic, lots of colors and some team logos about, John sent this to me, about the school that leads the nation with the most national championships claimed that
let me pull
the
that up for you.
NCAA doesn't acknowledge. Have I got that right? The school that has claimed the most football national championships that aren't recognized
Officially recognized.
Officially by the NCAA.
Yeah.
Now, that one is as bogus as heck because they only have Alabama with 2.
It says source, ncaa.com/history/football/FBS. I'm just telling you, they're sending them to me.
Yeah.
And not the fact that Auburn claims 7 that the NCAA officially does not recognize. I didn't realize Pitt claims 5. Pittsburgh claims 5 natties that the NCAA does not recognize.
Yeah.
Tennessee claims 4. Huh. And I mentioned this earlier in the week.
I think that's bogus because
Cal claims 2.
Yeah.
Cal?
So this is what, so John in the morning, he gets that.
Yeah.
And he says, okay, don't want that one. Don't want that one. Ooh, let me send that one to Barry real quick. Don't want that one. I'm going to use this one. So he doesn't have to wake up in the morning thinking, he has got a phalanx. He has got a platoon of people who have made it their mission in life that if anything happens at Auburn, they're going to make sure he knows.
I would say the vast majority of it does deal with Auburn, but not 100%. But a vast majority of it does have some Auburn connection. And I can't thank these people enough. I really appreciate it. I couldn't do it without them. Really do. I appreciate it. It's fun. I hope they're not offended that I do put my phone on silent when I go to bed. Because
oh my gosh, you would have to.
You would have to,
otherwise you'd never get
all night long.
I know some of those boys. 2:00 in the morning. Should I text this to Longshore?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not even thinking.
You know,
that's a fact. Because when I look at it, it goes 154, 307. Man.
His buddies. It's like 1:00 in the morning, and they're not sleeping. They're scrolling their phones in bed, and they're saying, "Ooh, Auburn 4th string cornerback has been has a parking ticket from over by Cater Hall."
Yeah.
On one side, he's got this little Big Al in white with robes and a halo says, "You ought not to send that to him. It's middle of the night." And on the other side, you got this big red Big Al with horns and everything and a bifurcated tail and a trident. He's going, yeah, send it to him. Go ahead. You know he wants. This guy got a parking ticket. You can't have that. So, yeah.
It's like Bill from Baltimore says here. I don't know who Michael Scott is, but
that's Steve Carell. He's the boss. It's like Michael Scott saying he's the king of forwards. Not this material, but happy to share.
Happy to share.
John brings up a good point, too. He says, John, you don't wake up thinking about breathing either. It comes naturally. Yeah. So I'm the one that has to try to at least represent a small portion of the vast number of listeners we have that are Auburn fans that just have to sit here and take it all the time. And I'll say, well, maybe that's not true. Oh, it's bound to be true. It's from ncaa.com/bogus/ we made it up / it could be. Is that a real website? I don't know, but it sure does look cool. Well, they put that on
good
there.
To me.
So,
John, I'm glad you chimed in this morning on our River Region Straw chat line. So what's the story with the Braves? I see they dropped another one last night.
I thought you said that you
yeah. Braves drop another one.
Yeah. They're playing badly right now.
Playing bad. Bullpen's terrible.
Playing poorly.
Yes. Oh, yeah. When Cardinals, how many Cardinal fans were at the game last night? Just what? I couldn't tell you because the game wasn't on TV.
It was on TV. It was on TV.
It wasn't on TBS or TCG or Peachtree TV or whatever it used to be on. You think I'm paying to watch the Atlanta Braves?
Literally nobody watching, nobody listening, nobody who hears about this secondhand, nobody who watches this later on at 7 at night. Nobody believes that you were looking for the Braves game on TV. That is bogus.
That is a fact.
So let's not go too far with this story.
I would be interested to know, Bear, are they still having that fire sale for Brave subscriptions like I saw on that billboard?
Well, the season's half over,
so
they're not asking for full price.
Yeah.
When the season's just about half done.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Also, before
Speaking
we
of
go
baseball, Barry, did you see where Bill from Baltimore is going to the businessman special today? The White Sox at the Orioles. Bill says he's going to be at the game today.
The Orioles are having such a difficult time.
It's 11:35 first pitch. You know how bad it is, Barry? The Orioles don't even know who they're going to put on the mound today.
Well,
it says
they know.
undecided.
They know. They just haven't told anybody.
Can you do that? I thought it was like a rule. You had to let the opposing team know who the pitcher was.
Oh, you do, but you don't have to like immediately. You don't have to give them like 2 days notice.
Okay.
Or something like that. When we come back, CJ Duncan joins us from Yellowhammer News. It's our Wednesday show. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You get a Bud Light? Bud Light?
I'm here, Bud Light.
Bud Light here?
Bud Light here.
Bud Light here?
Bud Light where?
Bud Light here?
Oh, Bud Light there.
I missed that because of you.
You did not miss that play because of me.
Have to stop talking this way?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of fun.
Hey, I got your Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
What I miss?
I have no idea.
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just one flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. About 29 minutes to the top of the hour on this Wednesday. That's when we bring in our friend CJ Duncan from Yellowhammer News. CJ, are you a Braves fan?
You know what? I'm a Dansby Swanson fan. When he was at the Braves, I was a Braves fan. Now I'm a big Cubs fan. So
there you go.
You know, it's usually related to relation wherever I'm at as far as baseball goes.
I like that. I've never known a Braves player, but even if I did, I'm not sure I'd still root for him.
He is as hot as can be right now, too. Goodness, he is swinging that well.
Yeah. No, I think we had a couple more bombs last night. We just had to get on track. You know, there's been a lot of things on and off the field that we've had to clear up, and now we're back in business where we he's a new father as well, so congratulations to him.
There you go.
Oh, wow. So it's been a lot of fun and excited to see him get back on track.
Well, let's talk about other topical things besides just how well Dansby Swanson swinging the bat. Terrion Arnold, first-round draft choice in 2024 from Alabama. Started 15 games. He only had 8 games last year. He was hurt, but big contract and all that. I'm not even saying if any of these allegations are true, and he's been charged with 3 counts of armed robbery, kidnapping, 1 count of conspiracy to commit kidnapping, 1 count of conspiracy to commit armed robbery. The guy has got it made. John and I often wonder, these guys are playing a sport they love. They're making millions and millions of dollars where the basic expectation is stay out of trouble, do what you're supposed to do, and you're going to be fine. I'm not asking you to tell us whether or not you think any of this is true, but Why are these things? Why do these things happen? Make this make sense for us, CJ.
You know what? I think a lot of times, ego and entitlement kind of creep in with some of these guys. You get to a point where even outside of the money, before NIL in college, you see guys sometimes like this where you almost feel invincible, right? You're asked to be Superman every weekend, and so you think you can get away with everything, and you can physically accomplish anything, and so. But then you add money to that, you feel as if you're protected, and that the rules don't necessarily apply to you. But it could not be further from the truth. And with Terrion Arnold, I'm sure a lapse in judgment from the people that I hear or talk to. Most people seem to think he's a pretty decent guy, and this seems to be out of character for him. But there's no excuses. What happened was unacceptable, and as you can see, the Detroit Lions felt the same way.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens in the courtroom, that was unacceptable. And production breeds tolerance, and unfortunately for him, he hadn't been playing well either. I think that Detroit probably would have held on a little longer just to see how things played out. But if you're not playing well and you're also doing off the field things, then there's no reason for us to keep you around.
Yeah, CJ, I think it's really interesting because I feel the same way. I think we've all seen it over the years. A player, an athlete that's really good, the best on the field, if you will, or one of the top players, and maybe as he was coming up in junior high and high school, he was coddled over and kind of put on a pedestal, and everybody said, man, you're the greatest. Maybe he had an easier path, probably because of his athletic ability. Maybe, I don't know, didn't have to bust it like some other people did. Who knows? There's a lot of different things that make up how people act. But I do think that's part of it, that maybe, hey, people have said I'm great and I've kind of gotten away with it all these years. And now I'm an NFL player or wherever, and I'm making millions and millions of dollars. Who's to say it should stop? And I think that's where a lot of these guys get bitten, is that, that's not the real world. And unfortunately for Terrion, it's just another example of a guy that I think maybe kind of went through life like that.
You're exactly right. It starts off with something as simple as, getting away with that report card in third grade. It starts off with, getting in a fight at school, but still being allowed to go to practice. I know my parents, they were strict about it. If we don't have all A's, we're not going to practice. If we're not doing everything that we have committed to, and done it to our best effort, then we can't play sports, right? So we always knew that there was a consequences for not being the kind of man that we were being raised to be. So as soon as you let that slip or let that get away, or the first time you cuss out a coach, or you do, like, you're just out of line, and someone says, well, we need those 3 touchdowns on Friday or Saturday or whatever,
yeah.
That's when it starts going downhill from there.
It was, I guess, last Wednesday. I didn't have a chance to ask you about this. The new athletic director at Virginia Tech, his name is Brian White. He came up from Florida Atlantic, I believe. He had his introductory press conference last Wednesday, and he went ahead and said this while he was in Blacksburg, quote, I think Coach James Franklin is one of the very best coaches in the country. He's going to win a national championship at Virginia Tech, and I want to be a part of it, and I want to help him do it, end quote. He was your guy. Can he do that? Can he do it at Virginia Tech? Is that possible?
James Franklin is a championship coach. At some point, he's going to get over that hump. He's too consistent. He works too hard. He has good people around him as well, which I think is also kind of the secret sauce, is like having great assistants around you. All those years Bama was winning, look at all those guys now as predominant head coaches, right? I think James Franklin has a similar thing going for himself. You know what? I hope so for Virginia Tech's sake, but him sticking around another, it's probably not going to happen this year, right? So maybe the second year, if they don't win it that second year, just in my opinion, I'd imagine there's going to be another bigger school calling his number to see if he'd like to come coach there as well.
Yeah, because that's
I don't
part
think
of
Virginia Tech's the last stop.
That's part of it, because now people see what Indiana did last year.
Mm-hmm.
And they're thinking, why not us? There are schools that you can look at, and for whatever reason, you can look at and say, man, the way they're constructed right now, they've got no shot at competing for a national championship. A lot of it is structure. A lot of it is how much you want to pay your assistant coaches. What's the most important part about building a national championship program like Virginia Tech, for lack of a better word, from scratch, CJ?
Well, I guess you could go about it a couple different ways. We've seen it happen different ways. You've seen Ohio State with $40 million roster, but then you've seen Indiana there, where their core guys are guys that have been around Cignetti for a while, kind of homegrown guys that were 3- and 4-star guys that had a lot of chemistry, knew the system well, played fast, and then you put a couple superstars around them and you see where it can take you. So you can go one or two directions. There's more, there's more than one way to do it. I think at Virginia Tech, it's one of those areas of our country that I think is very underrated. That DMV area has really good talent. It's kind of a hub for really good athletes. And so I do think they could build from within, but at some point you got to go get you a superstar quarterback. I think it's going to be very hard. It used to be in NFL where it's like, oh, if you don't have a quarterback, you can't win. I think college is getting a lot like that now too. If you don't have a quarterback that can really run the show, it's going to be very tough to win, at least at the highest level in the college football playoff.
Winning at the highest level, college football playoffs. We've been talking about this for several weeks, talked a lot about it earlier this week. Kalen DeBoer is entering year 3 at Alabama. I've asked the question, CJ. I haven't gotten an answer yet. What is going to be different about this Alabama team than the one we saw 6 months ago in Pasadena? But basically the same coaching staff, a few new faces here and there, a running back room without a 1,000-yard rusher, a quarterback that hadn't taken a meaningful snap. I could go on and on. Well, what do you think?
I hate to say this because I'm kind of surrounded. A lot of my friend group is Alabama fans, but I don't see how it could not be a little bit of a regression, right? You've got a guy in Ty Simpson who had been in the program for so long, and even though he did not play a ton of snaps, he was still a leader on that team because he was homegrown. He was a guy that had been there, spent time with the guys, waited his turn, which the locker room usually rallies around. So it was no surprise that he had a lot of success. But when you lose guys like Ty Simpson and you lose your left tackle and you lose a running back, and then you go on the defensive side and you start losing guys there, the biggest thing I think they need to do is just fix that run game. I think that'll settle any new or fresh green quarterback out. If it's your first year starting, Todd did a good job of managing it, but it's so tough. If they could find somebody that's a legit running back that can get you 3 or 4 pop, just to kind of settle the game down when things get crazy with all those new faces on the field, then, you want to win the ones you're supposed to win and then win a couple of the ones you're not supposed to and then see where you land.
On the other side of things, do you think that Jeremiah Cobb from Montgomery, from Catholic, ran for 900 yards last year? Is that his and they kind of gave up on him late in the year in a critical situation. Is that his high water mark? Do you see more out of him? Could he be that kind of a back that can build a running game?
He was completely, in my opinion, misused last year. I went to the Auburn, Georgia game, sitting there right there on the 50-yard line. I could see everything, and I'm on Auburn's sideline, and I mean, this kid is getting 8 a pop. I mean, and explosive and quick and great vision, and doing everything he's supposed to do, picking up blitzes, and then and I think he gets them all the way down the field, if I'm not mistaken, and then somebody else scores, and that's fine, that happens. But then he doesn't play like the rest of the quarter, and I'm like, am I missing something here?
Yeah,
What's
hurt?
going on? Is he hurt? But he didn't look hurt on the sideline. He was just kind of standing next to other players, but not next to the position coach or the coordinator. And I'm like, something's fishy in Auburn right now. I don't know what's going on. That must be an internal thing. I don't know if he's on a pitch clock or what, but the kid he's a special runner. He's tough as nails. I don't think he got enough touches. I mean, to me, that Georgia game, say he's getting pulled in games like that, say for 3 or 4 games, that's 1,300 yards right there.
I'm just glad he wasn't in a shouting match with his position coach like a former Auburn player was.
Yeah.
Well, multiple Auburn players back in the day. See, Bo Nix. Barry, you knew that was coming. I mean, that was a setup. I mean, come on. Yeah, you knew I was going to bring that one back up. Back to your Alabama friends. I thought that was interesting. Well, what are they saying? They got their heads buried in the sand. Do they not want to hear it? Do they think, all's going to be great? Don't worry. It's going to be our year. I'm not hearing any of that. They don't want to hear what I'm saying because I think they know, I mean, I'm not sure what has changed in 6 months. I mean, you can bring some new faces in, but is the philosophy different? Is the scheming, the coaching, the whole deal, is that going to be completely different? I just don't know.
I'd imagine that the guys have to adjust to the system. Especially since one of the quarterbacks that has potential of being a starter has been in said system for a long time now. So I don't think you'd switch it up on him if he's competing for a spot. But my friends, they're a little quiet right now, and justifiably. I hadn't really heard a lot from them. They're like, we'll see. These guys got some talent, but we got to give them time. And it's more or less just kind of baking in the excuses, is what it sounds like to me. But no one seems overly
like
excited.
That in 20 years, CJ. I mean, what do you mean? We'll see.
Yeah.
Did they ever say that when Saban was up there? Well, we'll see.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. And you know what? You had a couple receivers leave too. I just thought about that. So it just makes it tough. You don't know who's on the roster. When at the University of Alabama, these guys were rock stars, back in the day during Saban's era. We knew everybody on the roster, every position. You don't have to be an Alabama fan to know the guys on the team. Yeah. Right now, I couldn't tell you who the starting back is or who the starting, the receiver is, to be honest with you. So you just got to hope these guys are working their butt off right now.
Yeah.
I want to dovetail on that. I was going to ask you about it, and you brought it in nicely. You worked their tails off. For some reason, over the last several days, players are out there. They're working in the summer. I have seen yesterday just incredible pictures of Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer out there, in shorts and jersey and everything. He looks like a power lifter. Gunnar Stockton at Georgia. For some reason, there was a picture of him. His legs look like barrels now. Trinidad Chambliss.
Is this similar photo I sent you of Austin Mack and his arm?
That's what I'm leading up to. The picture of Keelan Russell and Austin Mack is incredible, and I'm trying to get it to load, but unfortunately, it's not. But these guys look like power lifters, and they're quarterbacks. At what point is it too much for a quarterback?
Yeah, that's right. I grew up in the era where the quarterbacks, they didn't lift that much. Or they were doing more plyometrics. You know what I mean? Like they had bands, and they were doing all this, like especially any upper body kind of stuff, they kind of stayed away from. They'll do their push-ups, they may do some curls here and there, but anything that's related to the shoulder, the arm, the potential crushing of fingers or hands, they kind of stayed away from. Now, I've been around some quarterbacks that can out squat most people, just freakishly strong guys, just really good lower half, where they could compete in the weight room with a lot of folks. I've been around that. I think I saw Arch Manning doing front squats online the other day too, and he's got a pretty decent lower half himself. And to be 6'4", 6'5" like he is, to get as low as he did, it was really impressive. But yeah, this is a new generation. We've had some quarterbacks that said, what, I'm gonna spend this spring getting jacked, but they knew they weren't going to be the starter. They just wanted to look a certain type of way, right? So these guys, especially the kid from Oklahoma, I mean, goodness, he looked like a movie star, and he's got just huge guns on him. It's impressive, but at the end of the day, your job is to deliver the ball with accuracy, on time, and give it either firmness or touch depending on the situation. And being jacked doesn't necessarily help you do that.
Yeah, some of these pictures, I'm thinking, whew, look at the arms on these guys. they look like linemen instead of.
Now, it may help you take some licks. Maybe that's the thought. It's like, all right, if I'm getting sacked all the time, that's a little cushion I can get, and that was kind of my thing too. Is I'm naturally kind of a stockier guy, and so I worked out really, really hard and pushed myself really hard because I knew I'm going across the middle most of the time in the SEC. So that can kind of help me absorb some of those licks.
Barry, I don't get the feeling that Kenny Stabler lifted a lot of weights. I just think Kenny dropped back, you flicked that cigarette out and slung it down the field and saw what happened.
He lifted weights, but it was like 16 ounces at a time.
Well, you all should Google Patrick Mahomes shirt off. He doesn't look like the Oklahoma quarterback. I'll just say that.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Looking at him in that Chiefs uniform thing, that guy doesn't look like a big guy.
I think Patrick just likes him some Bud Light. That's all I'll say. I think he likes Bud Light.
Yeah. And there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, it's a sponsor product. We're glad he likes it.
Absolutely.
CJ, always great insight. We appreciate it very much. Hope you have a happy Independence Day holiday, and we look forward to talking with you next week.
Happy 250, guys. See y'all next week.
You too, my man. Appreciate that. CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News, joining us today. Always a great conversation. Really appreciate that. So here, you heard it, Barry. His Bama friends are kind of sheepish. They're not talking. They're kind of just, I'm not saying they're walking around mumbling to themselves, but I kind of feeling that way.
Bama fans in the middle of summer are not talking. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, have you heard them? I know you got some Bama friends.
If I was to complain, I would feel like I wasn't being honest with people. Bama fans not going around, heading to the post office or working their shift at the convenience store, looking all chest poked out and everything like that. Whenever they're with their other Bama friends. Eating chicken fried steak at the local barbecue joint or something like that, and say, well, Homer, what do you think about us this year? And Homer says, man, I just don't know. What, you don't know whether we're going to win 11 or we're going to win 12? I don't know. We're going to win 9. That ain't bad. That you and I have said this for years. Even you, back whenever it looks as though Alabama was never going to lose a home game, much less lose games at all. You were telling people, you're saying, look, there may come a day when they're not just, rubber stamping national championship 2021, 2022, 2020, just rolling them out. There's going to come a day when it's going to slow up a little bit when Nick Saban's not there. And everybody was like, la, 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 la. Well,
didn't want to hear it.
Never going to be a day. There is never going to be a day where Alabama is 2-10, 3-9, 4-8, 2-9, 2-10, da da da. It's not going to happen that way. It's never going to happen that way. But 9 wins, 8 wins, that is Alabama fans' low water mark. And I submit to you, like John was saying, it may be good for you. especially for the kids, to realize, Dad, what's going on? Aren't we supposed to just roll out on the field and win 12 games? What's happening? It may be good for their development and their growth emotionally to have a little bit of a struggle now and again.
Barry,
this may be the summer for that.
I lived it through the decade of the 70s. Bama was kicking tail and taking names. Keith Jackson's doing the games. He loved Bear. I mean, it was just a great golden decade. It was awesome.
The best thing about that was all the Bama fans, they just knew. Yeah, you'd see Keith do Notre Dame. You'd see Keith do USC. He'd do a Texas game or an Ohio State game or, something like that. But Bama fans knew. Keith Jackson, he loves us.
Yeah.
He may do those games because they make him, and I guess it's in his contract. But he'd rather be doing an Alabama game.
Oh, yeah. Whoa, Nelly. And that golden decade of the 70s, it kind of, went into the early 80s as well. But by the time yours truly set foot on the capstone, the bottom fell out. And Bama goes, 5-6 in 84. My sophomore, I think I was still a freshman, but it was my second year at Alabama.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
You could have asked him. It's not that his memory is faulty.
Yeah.
You could have asked him then whether he was still a freshman or not. I'd have to count it up. I'm probably am, but I'm not sure.
It was year 2, but I think I was still a freshman. And I'm thinking those entire 4 years, I know the Van Tiffin kick and Perkins beat Notre Dame, and there were some big wins against Tennessee and whatever. I know there were some big wins, but all in all, that 4-year stretch was pretty tough compared to what they'd been through, what I'd been through. And then we know what happened with Curry, and then Stallings rolled in and won 70 in 7 years, and it was great, and everybody was happy. But there was a lot of gnashing of teeth, Barry. I remember people going, Stallings' offense is so antiquated. How are they going to win? Oh, it's so 1963 yards in a cloud of dust. And then, of course, we know what happened with the mics and all that type stuff. So, yeah, I've lived it. I've seen Bama go through a low ebb. I'm not saying it's going to get that bad, but it's not going to be like the 17 years under Nick Saban.
Ever again? Like ever? Because that's what they're
Well, you never say never. I've learned that many a time. But I think if you lay it all out on the table and you say, well, you got a conference with 16 teams. Everybody's trying to do the same thing. A lot of these schools in this league have more resources, whether it's money or facilities or alumni or whatever you factor all in. I think Alabama's fan base is spoiled. I don't think we talked about Auburn's fan base and how they're always there and always by. They are so hungry to win. It's unbelievable. I'm not sure Bama fans are as hungry because they've won. They don't like 9-3. But, heck, we've won so many natties and we've won. Hey, look at this. We had a football team and went to the playoff. The basketball team went to the the NCAA tournament. So athletics is great. But
it's like our buddy Joe says. He says, Bama fans remind me of Tanner Boyle when he said, we lost 18-0, and they're the worst team in the league. Ahmad says, second worst. Bad news Bears reference. Joe is moving up the Longshore McKnight meter.
No doubt about it. Any bad news Bears reference is okay with me.
Yeah. And Brett from Beauregard says, John, I don't bet on anything, but I'll bet Alabama doesn't lose any of their first 5 games.
Well, I would think
if that happens, then whistling through the buttercups, small babies with wings flying through the air with harps and bows and arrows and stuff. It's going to be.
Brett, I would agree with you. I think the odds are definitely in Alabama's favor to win those 5 games. They'll be a favorite in every one of them. You know what I've always said? Hey, if Vegas says it, hell, even Nick Saban mentioned Vegas when Alabama was almost on the verge of being snubbed from a playoff or something. Maybe they were that year. And Saban referenced that, well, Vegas would have us as a favorite in every one of those games.
John could have reached through the microphone and hugged him at that point. Nick, I knew you were one of my guys.
But they'll be favorite in all those games. And if they lose one of those games as a favorite, ooh. But I'm with you, Brett. I if I was a betting man, had to pull money out of my wallet, I would not put money on the table that Alabama would lose one of those first 5 games.
When we come back, our buddy Josh Harris, is he getting any sleep? I mean, any more than he's ever used to getting, what it seems like.
What is it with our guests, Barry? They're all having babies. CJ Duncan's got a young daughter. Josh got a young son. Man, I'm telling you, we're pretty fertile over here on Longshore McKnight.
Brought in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Spring is in the air, and your garage door deserves a fresh start. At Dixie Overhead Door, we're helping you get ahead of wear and tear with a $49 garage door tune-up designed to keep everything running safely and efficiently. Even better, it's included for Dixie Cares Plan members. Noticed a problem? Save $50 on any repair and let our trusted team handle it quickly and professionally. Count on reliability, savings, and service you can trust.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me."
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information. Okay, back at it a little past the top of the hour here on a Wednesday. Do want to pass this note along just so you will be aware of it. And we'll have to ask Josh to maybe change his schedule around a little bit for next week. Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Magazine, and of course you can download it as well, will join us at this time slot next Wednesday. So looking forward to Phil Steele. Barry, Phil's been joining us as long as he's had that magazine, and we both said it. It's the best magazine when it comes to preseason college football.
Cannot wait to get mine. His kids are all grown. Josh Harris is just starting out.
That's true. Hey, did you see this? I don't know if Josh can see the chat line, but Jay says, fertile is not a word I had on my bingo card, John.
Congratulations, first of all, Josh.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some fatherhood. Sum it up.
It's a miracle. Amazing. It's tiring. It is wild. I mean, it's wild. It's just like, it's crazy. I mean,
there's a guy.
You just figure it out. I mean, like that's the biggest.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. I was like, how are we ever going to do this? It's not that hard. It is. Yeah. I think the hard days for me are going to be the karma that I get when Wills turns 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and he's calling me and just I've got a lot of bad karma coming to me those years.
There's a guy you probably know, a buddy of mine named Roger Hoover, who does a lot of the work on the Alabama broadcasts. He's a studio host for football and all that kind of stuff. Last year, he had a child, and I sat with him up in the booth at baseball one time and said, how's it going? Because it was newborn at the time. And he says, it's exciting, but it's terrifying. And I said, Welcome to fatherhood.
Yeah.
Right. That's the way it
You're
is
right.
with everybody.
Right.
Well,
All
it
right.
only gets better, Josh. We can,
Yeah.
Barry and I can certainly attest to that. And
Yeah.
it is. It's wonderful. The memories you're going to make are just going to be fantastic. And hey, I'm going through that 18-year-old period right now. So if you need any advice down the line, I'm here for you.
Which will happen first in your estimation, Josh? Your young son enters first grade, or Alabama wins a national championship?
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Natty.
You think
National
so?
championship. Yeah. In the next 7 years. What is it? 6
years? Yeah.
6 years.
Because that was part of John's upbringing. John's got kids. That was part of their upbringing. Son,
I sure hope he doesn't go. I sure hope he doesn't have the years that 92. So I was like born for the one national championship. No, I wasn't, because it was in January. So I was not born. And then I didn't win one till 2009.
Ooh.
So it was 18
Oh.
years. God, let's just hope that's not about to start. Well, I'm going to go with let's go when he's 4, he will win a national championship.
Okay.
Under our new coach, AJ McCarron.
Yeah. Who got released from the Stallions. So we've been talking a lot about this, Josh. Barry sent me some stat or whatever that Alabama has not signed one top 10 in-state player in football. That Auburn's got 3, Oregon's got 2, got a couple of them. I forgot who the other schools were. So, and of course, my response was, Bama recruits nationally. They're not worried about in-state talents, who's the best player in the entire country. But throwing all that out of there, my thing, Josh, that I've been on the last couple of weeks, what is different today on the 1st of July, 6 months after the embarrassment in Pasadena?
Not enough yet. Not enough. But once again, it's hard. Last year, it wasn't the team. It was just it wasn't the talent. It didn't feel like. It felt like we had the talent. We just didn't have the grit that we needed to have. We were just soft all around. And
pluck was lacking too. I think there was a notable absence of pluck.
There was no pluck
and
or grit.
Yeah. and that's it was not the players, right? You look at, we had talent. We're just the big question mark is, can DeBoer get the locker room back? Like, does Ryan Williams is a perfect example. Like, we lost him last year. He was just completely lost. He was running around scared, making TikToks, doing everything but playing good football. I think he's the prime example of what happened to Alabama football. And then he's obviously an extremely talented player, but we're going to know once the season starts, are these guys going to come out and hit somebody in the mouth? Are they going to play football, or are they just going to be a soft Northwestern team? Like that's what scares me about DeBoer is he's not a Southern guy. And we've seen what happens when you get non-Southern guys that come and coach in the South. You've seen it at Auburn last year. It doesn't work. And so then you look at the recruiting in state, he's not getting in-state recruits. He's going out and getting soft players from outside the South. And it scares me a little bit. I mean, hopefully we get chemistry, we get grit, we start working like we used to. And it is a little nerve-wracking that appear to be going backwards. We'll see when the season starts.
And you mentioned DeBoer, but basically the coaching staff's the same. There's a few new faces here and there, but basically this is the same staff that has been there since he arrived. I wonder how they're going to change. You mentioned, they're Pacific Northwest, Big Ten, whatever. They got to come to this rough and tumble SEC. You kind of wonder, in 2 seasons, has DeBoer figured that out?
It doesn't seem like there's been enough changes in the offseason. It seems like we're continuing to do the same thing over and over again, and we're going a little bit in the same direction. But we did show the biggest thing though is we showed DeBoer that we've got him and that he's not out the door. We gave him some more contract extension, some more money, et cetera, and I think that could help with his confidence and maybe doing things his way. But I don't. If you're an Alabama fan right now, you don't feel great. I don't think anybody would say this offseason has made us feel much better than the season was. You can't sit here and unless you just want to be a homer and be like, this is great. We're pumped. It's now, the fact that I'm getting questions, will my son see a national championship? That one really hit hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tough. And then you got Terrion Arnold out there making us look bad.
Going to ask you about
Josh
that. Can you conjure up any sort of a rationalization as to why somebody like him is even facing charges like these?
Well, that was you saw the letter from Saban defending him. And that was, which is another interesting thing, right? I guess it wasn't not necessarily that he didn't do anything, but it was that in all his years of working with Saban, being coached under Saban, that he had a good personality and was a good person and never would have imagined that he did any of this. But still it looks like he's pretty dang guilty, unfortunately.
He says this in his character reference, quote, while I'm not overly familiar with or educated on the charges he's facing and understand the seriousness of his situation before the court, I would respectfully ask the court to take into account my experience with Terrion, his character history, and the positive impact he had on our program. End quote. Now, when you're facing, kidnapping and robbery charges, and Nick Saban says, well, he was good for our football team, does that really carry a lot of weight?
If the judge is Harvey Updike, it does.
That might have been good to just, hey, he was a really good helped us win a lot of games.
Yeah.
Right.
Please go easy on him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, when I was around him, he was a good kid. Josh, if you had to pull $5,000 out of your wallet and put it on a table and bet on how many games Alabama's going to win this year. And I'm saying this because I think a lot of this, my heart tells me they're going to go 11-1. I love the Tide. I'm never going to bet, say anything negative against them. But when you put money on the table, it makes you think a little differently. So you got $5,000 out there. You got to come up with how many games the Tide's going to win. What's your number going to be?
Does the bowl game count?
No, regular season.
10.
Okay.
10. I think 9.5 is probably the over under.
8. It's 8.5 actually.
It's 8.5.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Yeah. Well, let's go alternate line and take the 10 and get a little plus money since we're throwing 5 out there anyways. Let's
exactly. Get your best value. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Will any of those 2 losses happen in the first 5 games? John is using that as a litmus test. That
sure hope not.
They have got to win East Carolina, Kentucky on the road, Florida State, South Carolina, and at Mississippi State before you handle Georgia.
If we lose one of those, we're in big trouble.
Yep.
Okay.
I think. I mean,
I agree.
You never know how good like a South Carolina is going to be. They could end up having a good year. Kentucky's going to stink. I mean, they could be okay. I mean, it's Kentucky. I mean,
yeah.
They might win 9 or 8 games at the most, or they, who knows? And if they have a good year, they're going to get killed in the playoffs or whatever, wherever they go. Mississippi State, we should never lose to Mississippi State.
Like ever.
See what happened to Mike Shula when he got beat by him. Woo.
Yeah, not good.
Whoa.
And then Florida State, come on, guys.
Revenge game.
Yeah, we can't.
So, Josh, what I think people are overlooking a little bit is we all know about what happened in Tallahassee last year. And we all know what's happened, when they played Georgia in the championship game in Indiana. They know about the double-digit losses. But what about some of the just winning by a hair victories? South Carolina's given this team fits the last couple of outings. Missouri played them tough in one of those games. Some other teams that you're thinking, wait a minute, we should wipe the floor with this team. They won the game, but it was a nail biter. And I think people forget about those wins.
It just comes back to being soft. I mean, that's all it comes down to is we're more talented than these people. Like, I see old Stead Hayes in here saying we couldn't run the ball. Like, that's right. Like, what do you mean? We had good running backs. We had a good offensive line. We are just soft. Quit being soft.
Yeah.
Like, this is the SEC. This is Alabama. It's frustrating because we do everything we do everything we can from a university standpoint, except for now, for some reason, we've got TikTok fingernail painting players running around all over the field.
You've used the word soft a couple of times. Reminds me of that scene in Animal House. But
Greg,
anyway,
honey, is it supposed to be this soft?
But I'm watching a clip of Alabama.
Sorry.
Greggy, honey. I can even hear the music in the background playing.
It's not supposed to be that soft.
No, it is supposed to be. But I think the Alabama's playing Wisconsin in one of those neutral site opening games. I think it's in Dallas. And I believe Derrick Henry runs the ball between the tackles. And this Wisconsin player gets up, and he's in the Alabama huddle. He has no clue where he is. I mean, Bama fan is longing for those days where the other teams just, knocked into oblivion going, well, I think a freight train just hit me. What the hell?
Or we're screaming at each other. We're getting, just the days of getting screamed at by Saban when you're up 45 points. And that will never happen now. I mean, it's just
and the fans were in the background loving it.
Yeah.
AJ McCarron getting whipped on his butt by Saban coming off the field. Where are those days?
Yeah, it was. Now, anyways, I hate to get all negative before the season even starts, but
hey, you're in the right spot, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking for positive, Josh. I really am. There again, they start out 5-0. That's a first good step. But you know as well as I do, Josh, if they go 5-0 against those teams and they lose by double digits at home to Georgia, it's all going to start over again.
And if we just squeak by those first 5 games.
See, John's all about that. Oh, the margin of victory has got to be satisfactory and all that. I'm thinking margin of victory. You win the game, you win the game. Let's not be spoiled enough to think, well, they're winning, but they're not winning by enough.
Barry, I'll say this. They will not go 5-0 against the spread in their first 5 games.
Thoughts?
They should win the first 5. I don't think they're going to cover the spread in all 5.
No, that would be crazy. And that would be a good sign. We have some happy fans. Team would be rolling. That would be
local man's getting killed because everybody's betting the Tide and laying the number. Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting year.
Got a lot to chew on between now and September the 5th, which is the opening game.
I mean,
all right, Josh, next week, and we'll touch base with you if we can maybe get you just a tad later in the program, because I heard you might have heard me say Phil Steele. I don't know if you get Phil's magazine, but you should. Every college football fan needs a copy of it.
I'll get it. I'll add it to
Awesome.
the list.
Yes, please do. So how's the diaper duty going?
It's good. There's not too, he eats so much. And I can't really help with that.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that it's my fault. And so I feel pretty guilty about that. He's got the strongest neck I've ever for a baby ever, which is really convenient.
Yeah.
I feel like he's pretty advanced. He's already rolling over.
There you go. See, he's working on agility drills pretty soon, up downs, okay.
He's already, he like sleeps like this for some reason. Like
man.
He's already got the golf grip.
Got the golf grip
okay.
working?
Yeah.
Love it.
He's ready to rock and roll. I'm going to take him out on the course on Sunday. No, I'm
sure. It's funny you mentioned the strong neck. I remember I used to have to roll up a little towel and put it at the side of the little car seat because my their head would be like this the whole time. So that's nice that he's got a strong neck. You don't have to worry about the neck flopping over when they fall asleep.
He ain't going to be soft. Give us 18 years.
No, plenty of pluck and grit. I have no doubt. Josh Harris, Moneyline Magician, appreciate you.
Have a great 4th.
See y'all. You too.
Hi, buddy. Bye. Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician, a new dad. Look at that, man. Little kid's got the golf grip working. Did you have to do that, Barry? You had to roll up a towel, the heads will get like that. It would bug me. I go, look at that neck. That's got to hurt. No. John could sleep like this for 3 hours and, wouldn't make a difference.
Jack has always been tall. But he never had that. I mean, he was tall when he was born.
Yeah.
You forget he was born in, room 211 and 212. But he's not like obscenely tall. He was just a tall kid.
Yeah.
When we come back, it's the Phantom's Daily Dog next.
We got a pick for today. I will tell you, there will be a pick for today.
Yes. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. If you encounter one wolf, chances are there's a pack nearby. Fortunately, the same applies to beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks, like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Grab some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
This summer, Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air is on a Jurassic hunt for the oldest HVAC systems and water heaters in town. If your system is a fossil, now's your chance. Replace it between June 1st and July 31st, and you could win big. We're giving $2,500 back for the oldest HVAC systems and $1,000 back for the oldest water heater. Even if you don't win, you still score major savings on your new HVAC system, water heater, generator, and or garage door. Don't let your systems go extinct. Call Dixie, and it's done.
All right, welcome back in. Glad you are with us. 21 minutes past the hour. Barry, yesterday, I believe it was a 5:40 first pitch, if I'm not mistaken, was one of those games that you just, I've seen it happen in football, every sport. And yesterday was an example. I can't say I wasn't happy about it because I was, but I knew just be patient. Because we had the Cleveland Guardians, I believe is their names, at home hosting the Texas Rangers. And Barry, we jump out to a 2-0 lead. Bottom of the first, 2 runs on the board. I'm thinking, boom, here we go. Here we go.
I keep waiting for there to be a but.
Unfortunately, Barry, those were the only 2 runs Cleveland scored in the entire game.
Come on, people. You get off to the good start and then nothing.
I don't know what my man, was it Bibee?
Tyler Bibee.
Yeah, Tyler Bibee. He gives up 2 in the top of the third. I don't know if he was in the game in the top of the 7th when the Rangers put one on the board in the 7th and the 8th to win the game 4-2. Now, don't be teasing me and putting 2 on the board in the bottom of the 1st and then just fiddle fart around for the next 8 innings. Come on. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
You want to know how it happened?
Not
Do you
really.
want to know? It was 2-0 early, Guardians.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
The Rangers tied it up at 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So they're in the 7th inning. 2-2 ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Alejandro Osuna for the Rangers hit a fly ball to the outfield. Cleveland Guardians outfielder Cooper Ingle caught it. Threw it into the stands. 3rd out, threw it into the stands. There you go. Somebody have the ball. Problem was that wasn't the 3rd out. That was only the 2nd out.
Come on.
So he's in left field, 2-2 ball game, 7th inning, getting late. Cooper Ingle makes the catch. Hey, all right. That's 3 outs. Throws it in the stands.
Well,
and there was a runner at second base when he threw it.
Barry.
Got them home 3-2, and they end up losing it 4-2. So.
Okay. You might find this hard to believe, but I really don't have a problem with that. I kind of feel for that guy because you're sitting out there all day, nothing's happening, sun's beating down on you, it's hot. You're thinking, what in the hell am I doing out here? No action, no nothing. Something finally happened. You think I'm going to stay focused on the game? 1 out, 2 out, 3 out. Hell, I don't know. I'm out here twiddling my thumb all afternoon. Nothing's happening. This game is boring. So I get it. Now, that's what he's paid to do. He should know better. But hey, I get it. 163 or 4 games, however many you play, your mind's gonna wander once in a while.
You're making millions. You've got 4 options. There's either no out, 1 out, 2 outs, or 3 outs. It ain't like you've got to sit there as the quarterback before you had the speaker in your helmet and the offense coordinator can just tell you to play. When you had guys on the sidelines with pictures of Michelle Obama and a Phillips head screwdriver, Homer Simpson, and Gloria Estefan, and you're trying to make out what that play is there.
With or without the Miami sound machine?
Oh, she was best with.
Okay.
She and I share a birthday.
Oh, really?
0 outs, 1 out, 2 out of 3 outs.
All right.
That's all you got to pay attention to out there. How many outs are there? And if the ball comes to me, where do I throw it?
There's one other thing you're not factoring in. There could have been a hot blonde on the first row out in the outfield that he had his eye on and got distracted. Could have been the case.
It was only his 2nd start ever. He had just gotten called up.
Nervous.
He started on Friday. He played yesterday, and that's been his major league deal.
Well, he was a little nervous. Got to cut the kid some slack. But I get it.
That's a bad way to lose on the Daily Dog, though. I mean, we all admit
I'm with you. I've lost, look, I played a little softball, Barry, when I got out of college. We had a great team, a bunch of misfits. We were good. I never grew up playing baseball, but I knew a little bit about the game. So they stuck me out there in right field. It's all right. I didn't get a lot of action.
No.
Most batters are right-handed. They can't hit it opposite field very well. But I'd get a little play every now and then. I remember catching one, but running up against the fence and catching it. I thought, wow, that's pretty good, even if I say so myself. Didn't have much of an arm, though, that I had to throw it to the second baseman, and he had to run out in the outfield a little bit to get the ball because I couldn't throw it that far.
So what was the difference between the second baseman having to run out early and get the cutoff, and then years later you throwing darts on those 40-yard outs at the Capital City Combine as a 40-something-year-old?
Something about throwing a softball. I found it a little difficult. But I get it. I mean, there's many a night at Lagoon Park. I'm sitting out there swatting flies away from me. It's hot, mosquitoes everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm finally something comes my way, and got to make it happen. But I get it. There's a lot of downtime when you're out in the outfield. All the action seems to take place in the infield.
All right. So that's a loss. Thank you, Cooper Ingle, for throwing the ball in the stands with 2 outs.
Cooper Ingle. That sounds like a golfer.
Now,
all right, tonight.
The demands are such that the people are clamoring. Yeah, whatever happened yesterday. Hey, we can feed us more. We want more. Feed us.
Well, Bear, there are a lot of games today, and about half of them are taking place before 6 p.m.
That's good. That's good. And for some reason, the Phantom likes those.
Yeah, I do. The first one is at 11:35. This is a game that our man Bill from Baltimore claims he will be in attendance.
Ooh.
Barry, this game is set.
I got to text Melanie Newman and see if she can meet up with him. She's the voice of the Orioles, one of the voices of the Orioles.
Barry, this game starts in a little more than 3 hours, and the Orioles still have not decided who the pitcher's going to be.
Ooh, hang on.
I'm looking at the lineup.
That is
right
a little
here.
bit late. Yeah, that is.
ESPN still has it in undecided. I know
decide.
Noah Schultz is going for the White Sox today, but I don't know about the Orioles.
I can't tell you. No.
Yeah.
You can tell me, I'm a doctor, but I can't tell you.
Yeah. Don't know. So, Barry, we're going to go to another game that's in the afternoon. This one, Barry, is the first of a double header on ESPN today. Actual baseball on ESPN. This game is slated to start at 2:07 Central Time.
North of the border.
Yes. Where Braden Fisher is on the bump for the Blue Jays going up against Freddie Peralta.
Freddie Peralta, yeah.
For the Mets.
Yeah.
The Toronto is a home dog in this game, but I'm telling you, they might be a favorite by the time this game starts, so you better get on them now. We like Toronto and my man Braden Fisher, 2:07 on ESPN at plus 102 at home to beat the Mets today. That is the Phantom's Daily Dog.
There you go. That is our Phantom's Daily Dog for today. Quick look here. Bob from Pike Road saying he holds everything to a high standard. Yeah. Sure, fine. That's all well and good. Sure, that's impressive that you have such a high standard for your television viewing. There's a couple. Bob comes up with a couple of phrases that I like.
Yeah,
he's certainly descriptive. I don't love disaster on the pasture. I think it's been now overexposed. He says that people all over the country, every podcast is talking about. I ain't heard it anywhere but here.
Yeah,
but he does say this.
Okay,
wins matter. The problem with DeBoer is he is getting dog walked multiple times a year. I've not heard that dog walked. He's getting dog walked.
Tough.
That's a bad thing. That means you're getting blown out, right? I don't know what dog walking has to do with losing, Baba. Boat raced. I never really understood boat raced, except you might get swamped by somebody's wake or something. Took behind the woodshed. I do get that. We never lived in a place that had a woodshed, but I've seen the Beverly Hillbillies. I know what taking behind the woodshed is because that happened to Jethro a couple times. Nolan Ryan style. Wins always matter. Getting blown out does too. A loss is a loss, I
don't know.
That's why you play your scrubs. That's why you play those guys. It's, hey, we don't want to blow them out. We got the game won. I tell you what, let's put in McElroy and have him throw a little fade route to Roy Upchurch and pile on,
Well, no, how about when McElroy threw that one in the corner of the end zone against Tuberville in the 36-0 game?
Yeah, that was wasn't that Upchurch? No, that was a game that
was the Bryant Denny beatdown.
That was the rub route. Yeah, all of a sudden, Bama fans. Man, it's amazing how they always hated the rub route when Hunter Renfrow did it for Clemson to beat him in the Natty. But they love the rub route when Roy Upchurch gets there to get the score to 36-0, you know.
Well, the thing that happened there, I believe it was a fake to the left side. McElroy spun around and Upchurch kind of went around this way because the flow was going opposite. It was a tough thing. You look at that play, it was a tough because Upchurch had to catch the ball across his body. Tough catch, tough throw on the road. That is an that play does not get enough run. That play is more difficult than people imagine. I mean, it's not like you're just sitting there catching hey, that was across the body, hands turned the opposite way, rolling the opposite way. Tough play. That ball could have been dropped easily.
All right.
Easily.
Logically speaking, before we go to break, which was more painful? Losing on a 109-yard missed field goal return in a close game that cost you cost Bama fans a chance at a national championship, or getting beaten down in a game that was really over by midway through the third quarter against Indiana in the Rose Bowl by 5 touchdowns in a game that cost Alabama a chance at a national championship.
No comparison whatsoever. That game in Pasadena was one of the most embarrassing displays of Alabama football I have ever seen in my life. And
even Herb Street was up there saying, they got just guys out there. I mean,
I've been watching Alabama football since the 71 block punt game. You can throw that one in there. Was the block punt game harder to take than that one? No. And I was like in second grade, saw a fight 5 rows in front of me. I went, oh, boy, Dad, this is great.
One of them was a blowout. And your team, speaking to Bama fans, was not playing very hard.
Worst effort. And there again.
Or, oh boy, we're going to win this. My gosh. Oh, we're going to go to, Saban's going to we're going to try a 60-yard field goal. Here we go. We're going to win it right here. And then boom.
Not even close. Not even close.
Yeah. Okay.
6 months ago, and I said I wasn't going to talk about this anymore, that I was going to turn the page, but you've lured me in once again.
Shamelessly.
That was the most embarrassing display of Alabama football I've ever seen in my life. Ever. Somebody convinced me
that's just
since 1971's block punt game. Tell me, which I didn't think, that's just the first game I went to. I've never seen a game that humiliating. Not the Southern Miss loss or the La Tech loss or the Northern Illinois loss. Central Florida, I think, is another game they got beat by.
Yeah.
Nope. Not even close. That one, the worst.
I think you're just saying that because that's their last game and you remember it. And
they weren't blown out by 35 in any of those games. I will say that. And
but the pain of thinking, oh boy, we may kick this field goal and win it, to miss the field goal short and you lose it on that play.
No, the granddaddy of them all. You don't go out there and lay an egg like they did. So there again, I don't want to harp on it and jump on that once again.
But that is your Phantoms Daily Dog for today. Yeah. We'll do it again tomorrow, live from Stivers Ford Lincoln in Montgomery. No show Friday, no show Monday. Just deal with it. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a 4th location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best-looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw.
The following is a message from the Bud Light Party.
July 4th is the most demanding holiday of the year. Justine just wants a half. Alex needs a hot dog without a bun. And Rose says her homemade veggie burgers taste just like the real thing. So this July 4th, stock up on a sure thing. Bud Light. It's a 4th of July fixture everyone can agree to agree on. This message approved by the Bud Light Party. Raise one to right now. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Glad you're with us. About 20 minutes at the top of the hour. Tobias has checked in with a couple of good ones here today. Why don't I remember this game, Barry? Gave up 52. Jalen Hyatt ran the same play over and over. I don't remember that game. I need some help with that one. What happened?
You don't remember that game? That was like the 5. Tennessee won for like the first. I got to go look at that because I can't believe you don't. Jalen Hyatt was a wide receiver. He must have caught 15 balls against Alabama.
Yeah.
And they could not stop him. A late field goal or a late miss or something. It was like 55-52.
Yeah.
And it was like Tennessee's first win against Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe that would. Maybe it's just one of those, the pain of it or whatever.
Yeah, I just can't,
that one was
accepted.
That
then
one
Tobias
was,
hits us with this.
Hang on. This was da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, when was that one?
Well, it's
okay. Here we go. I'm looking at the wrong end. 52-45 in 2022 in Knoxville. Alabama had won whatever it was, John, 14 in a row, 15 in a row. Alabama last loss to Tennessee had come in 2006.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So they come back again in Tennessee wins in 2022, 52-49. Tennessee kicks a late field goal, and
tough.
Again, I'm sitting there looking at the screen. Jalen Hyatt's a really good wide receiver, but it ain't like he's Randy Moss or Jerry Rice or something like that. And it's not that Alabama couldn't cover him. It's like they absolutely refused to. Like he ran that same little route all the time, catching it. And nobody on the Alabama coaching staff seemed to mind too much.
Didn't care.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember that game.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tobias also says what is this? Load management? No show on Friday and Monday. You guys are going on load management like Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
That's a good one, Tobias.
I mean, I'd be here. I got no, but we're off on Monday. We're taking a 4 day.
Yeah, a little recharge. You know, why not? It's middle of the summer, little recharge. We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
All right, Barry, how about this one? Since you brought up Bama's toughest loss, which one was tougher for the Alps? Bryce Young driving 99 yards in a minute to send it to overtime, to end up winning it in 4 overtimes, or 4th and 31? Both took place on Pat Dye Field inside Jordan-Hare Stadium. Which one was tougher?
Now, it's a slight difference in presentation with my question and John, because I said, which one is more difficult for Alabama fans? John says, which one was more difficult for the Alps? There's a little bit of a lack of respect there. You know, there's a little bit of a dismissive attitude. You know, the Alps.
Come across that way?
Yeah,
I'm sorry
a little bit of that.
Sorry about that.
It was probably, to me, it was the Bryce Young deal.
Ooh.
Because, I mean, Auburn had them. I think that was the game we were listening to it on the radio coming back from Atlanta. We had just done a football game. Our crew was listening in. and everything was going wrong for Alabama. John Parker Wilson was about to jump out of the booth. He was so Alabama muffed a snap on a field goal, couldn't even get the field goal off. They were like 0 for 10 on third downs or something like that. And Auburn fans were like, oh my gosh, Harson's about to beat Saban. Are we in an alternate universe? Great punt, got it down at like the 9 or something, and here comes Bryce. And Auburn fans are, and Alabama hasn't done diddly-poo all game long.
No.
All game long. And then all of a sudden, boom, here's this. Okay, that's a first down. Okay, Auburn fans in the stadium, we're still good. We're still good. That's no big deal. And then a chunk play, and they're like, all right now, we need to get a little bit more pressure on the quarterback here. He can't just sit back there and pick us apart, and then and then the great catch in the end zone by the kid whose name I can't remember, that somebody in the chat.
Well, you're right about that, Barry. That was another difficult catch. You look at that film, you're thinking, how did that kid catch that ball? Similar to Roy Upchurch across his body. Difficult catch that he brought in there. Of course, Barry, the Gravedigger play doesn't happen if that Aub doesn't muff that punt.
That's true. Yeah.
Punt,
And I never have there's a couple of them I understand, a couple of John's nicknames. I get the I wax the dude game. If you look back at the etymology of it all, I get the sandbox game because Coach Dye says we're going to make them play in our sandbox or something like that. The chain link game, the Bama punt game, I get that. Somebody's got to explain I've never heard anybody other than Bama fan call it the Gravedigger play, but nobody's ever explained it. Why Gravedigger?
I think Bob from Pike Road came up with that.
What does that mean? Why Gravedigger?
Oh, I think that's the name of the play. I think Saban said they practiced that. That's the name of the play.
The Gravedigger play?
Yeah. And back to the Roy Upchurch play, just to make sure we're on the same wavelength here. I don't think it was the pick play on that one, Barry. I think it was the 3 previous plays before it that allegedly Julio Jones was picking somebody off. I remember our old.
No, he's such a great downfield blocker.
Yeah. And I remember the Shadow used to comment about that Julio Jones was illegally blocking an Auburn defender on 3 straight plays to set that one up.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. That is to be laughed at when it happens against Auburn. But, that lineman was 3 yards and a quarter inch past the line of scrimmage. They should have never thrown that pass to Sammy Coates.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy obviously was.
That was the Nick Marshall game. Yeah, not related to Phillip, but Nick.
My buddy Jay says this. He said, what if Harsin does win that one on that Bryce Young drive at the end? What if Harsin wins that one? Does he avoid that offseason of nonsense in the early firing? No.
No. I don't know. Could they have fired Harsin for beating Saban?
Not for beating Saban, but it was so bad. I mean, it was so bad. I mean, we've had instances like that. Like, why'd you fire Mike Shula? Won 10 games like 3 different times. Why'd you fire him? Oh, because it was bad. It just was not acceptable or whatever. Joe Moorhead gets fired after 1 year at Mississippi State, and he wasn't that bad. And I mean, it's Mississippi State. So you got those things all the time. But Harsin was a horrendous fit from the start. When we come back, it's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Let's take our final time out. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just 1 flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
Drive away in a Toyota Crown Platinum or win your share of $25,000 in free play during Victoryland Casino's Crown and 25K free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Visit our Players Club and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings July 10th and 11th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Toyota Crown giveaway and $25K in free play. You could be a winner at Victoryland. The more you visit, the better your chance of winning. Victoryland, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama.
Victoryland also brings you our Victoryland 777 topic wheel. 6 topics, all curated by Gurn Jr., our producer. We have no idea what they are. Here we go. Let's see.
Ooh, purple.
Oh, this has got to be my guy, Erling Haaland, in the hall.
In the hall.
Yeah. Erling Haaland scores late. Norway sends Ivory Coast out of the World Cup. Norway has that cool deal. They have the Norway row.
Yep.
Where they all row in uniform. That's really cool. That is actually the entire population of Norway right there watching that one. And, I mean,
and you know, Barry, I got to tell you, I'm amazed at how many foreigners have come to the United States to watch soccer.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to make an effort to do that.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
This is a bunch of them, and they're here for the whole month, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, how do you live? How do you, so anyway, Erling Haaland, he's my favorite. Just 4 minutes left in the game. That's one of the problems I have with soccer. I love it. It's very fun, I think, but how do you know when the game's over? You know, you have all that added time and extra time, which you don't have in college soccer, by the way. And all right, so you go through 90 minutes. All right, it's done. That's Haaland right there, number 9, right in the middle. And then you keep going. Oh, there's 4 minutes of stoppage time. And you're thinking, is there 10 seconds left? Is there a minute left? All of a sudden the referee blows his whistle and everything's done. I mean, there would be no kick 6 if we had that kind of a thing. Hey, game over. I don't know. Put 0.8 of a second. They don't do that in soccer. They say, "Oh, that's enough." I guess.
Yeah, we've had enough.
Yeah, I don't get it.
You people have had to sit through enough agony. Let's get this over with.
This is what I love now about the World Cup is we're in the knockout round, meaning you win, you move on, you lose, you go home. There's not any more of this. Oh, we get relegated to the losers bracket and all that. Norway moves on. Ivory Coast heads back to the shower.
I like Daniel's thought. Travel 8,000 miles to watch a 1-0 game.
And then go back home.
I hear you, Daniel.
Well, you're guaranteed a couple of games because you have you have the first couple of rounds.
They love it. I got to tell you, the world loves it. I'm glad to hear,
no doubt.
And we're being hospitable and welcoming them to the World Cup here in the States. All right. We got the purple panel's back. I like that. 5 more to go. It's going to land on
heating up.
Oh, what's heating up besides the weather outside?
Oh, yeah. It's been hot. The knockout rounds collide with a massive heat wave. A lot of these stadiums, I mean, SoFi is covered, the Atlanta Stadium is covered, and all that kind of stuff. Temperatures in the 90s with high humidities. Every match, even if it's not hot, is having hydration breaks, which you never have in soccer, and they're griping about it. 2/3 of the matches remaining are either at high heat warnings or humidity warnings. So you got to watch out. Now, in Philly, they have Paraguay and France coming up. Starts at 4. It's going to be hot overnight. 100 degrees through the 4th of July in Philly.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do. I mean, is that a story? It's a story for the Euros because they're all from, northern countries.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody sitting here saying, man, when Alabama plays Mississippi State in one of the, man, it's going to be hot there. Everybody says, like, yeah, so what,
We're used to it.
You hydrate. These people.
Hey,
oh my gosh.
Barry Chris at the Hertz counter says the U.S. is in a knockout game tonight. He expects us to watch the game.
Yeah, Bosnia and Herzegovina tonight. If they what called the USMNT, if they play
Chris?
and lose to Bosnia and Herzegovina, that is not good. Not good.
You set the mark. For me to officially watch the U.S. tonight in soccer, how long do I have to watch it for it to be official?
90 minutes.
90
minutes, the whole thing.
I was thinking like 5.
No, you watch it. I mean, is like in soccer, if you get a shot on goal, that's like a touchdown in American football. Oh, wasn't that great? Look at him. He got a shot for it. So what? It was beautiful. You got to feel it. You can't always score. Well, they didn't score the whole game. Soccer fans will tell you that doesn't mean nothing was happening. To Americans, it kind of does mean nothing was happening if you're not scoring.
Hey, Chris, by the way, is the new baggage area opened up at MGM? I'm curious because I'm flying out of there in a couple of weeks. I just wanted to know where to pick my bag up when I return.
Yeah.
All right. 4 more to go.
We were talking about having Friday and Monday off.
Yeah.
Plainsman Preston said, John, you just had a week's vacation. Yeah. Hey,
we've been in this business a long time, Preston.
Yeah.
30 plus years. Who's counting? I go, hey, we got a lot of time built up. How about that?
All right.
Over 30 years.
This is clipped up.
Wait a minute. What happened?
Clipped up. Did we
lost
lose
the wheel?
Yeah. Oh, well. We may have it. We may not have it. The things to watch.
Oh, here it comes.
I think maybe not. Okay, yeah. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi has been definitely guilty of load management lately. He led the Raptors to the 2019 NBA championship.
Yeah.
They're getting him back. Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, which is a terrible name, 2 first-round picks. I don't know. And I don't know if he's worth all that. He turned 35 on Monday. He was with the Clippers for 6 years. That was where he's been since he's been at Toronto. I don't know if he's worth all that. I think his best days are way behind him.
How many games are they expecting him to play in the regular season? 82 games, 40?
No. I think you have to play in like 60 games in order to be, considered for player of the year or scoring champion or something. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he's 35.
That's
and he could be effective. I just don't know that he's worth all of that they're trading away.
Kind of like LeBron at Golden State. Is he really worth that? Nah, who knows?
He'll sell tickets.
That's true. He will sell tickets.
All right.
3 more to go. Red, blue, yellow. Let's see what we got here on the Victoryland 777 topic. Well, Victoryland's open 365, 24/7. You can be a winner too.
I think John's presentation would be improved if he would clap every once in a while. Okay, now it's time for...
We'll be back with more stuff.
All right. Oh, no.
100
monkeys escape in Thailand.
Uh-oh.
That's problems.
That's not good.
Now, you go to some of those Asian countries, especially the big cities, those things are overrun with monkeys.
Yep.
I mean, wild feral monkeys and everything. It's called Lopburi, Thailand. Their mayor, Chamroen Salachip. They're famous for, I don't even want to scroll it up. The municipality, which is famous for its annual Monkey Buffet Festival, was formerly home to a large number of free-roaming long-tailed macaques, which are a pain in the rear end. They finally rounded up a bunch of them. They are violent. They'll scratch at you just to get food and everything like that. Well, now 100 of them got away.
Oh,
good. Yeah.
Not good.
I love some of the names from the people in Thailand. The Thai Meep Chap Songjiron, some of those guys. It's like they make up the names as they go along.
Yeah, they're good. They're creative. You don't forget them.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 to go. Blue and red are the 2 panels left, color-wise. We'll see what the topic is, where it's going to land. And it's, could be a baseball fight.
Getting heated. Oh, it's got to be the Red Sox. Yeah. Fenway. Cade Cavalli strikes out Wilson.
Giving him some lip.
Now, that's not what he actually said to get it going. And here comes 22 from the bullpen. He's trying to throw his helmet at him.
Oh, yeah.
Cavalli strikes out. Cavalli's a pitcher for the Red Sox. He strikes out Contreras.
Look at these guys coming from the bullpen.
Yeah,
they're
really?
the
catcher. Look at the catcher, top center. He's like, I got to run all the way in there with my shin protectors on.
Yeah.
Contreras wasn't having it. Contreras was ticked off. But that's all it is. I've always said the safest place to be in the baseball fight is right in the middle of it because nobody does anything.
I mean, come on.
You know,
you
that's
got to have
Contreras. He told him to sit down, boy.
Yeah.
When he struck him out, and you just don't do that. He's for
sit
the
down.
Red Sox. Cavalli
if we had a good fight at a Biscuits game lately, I mean, it's been a minute since the Biscuits have gotten in a fight with somebody like the Barons or the Shuckers. I like a good fight in a minor league game.
Haven't seen
one of those in a while.
Yeah. All right, one more.
All right, one more to go. Let's see what we got here.
That's become a thing, by the way, for pitchers to scream at the hitters, bleep you or sit down. Just when you struck him out, leave him alone.
It adds some excitement to an otherwise boring game. I'm all for it.
Drought's over.
Drought is over.
Mexico. Yeah, see, they beat Ecuador 2-0 to reach the round of 16, so they're in the knockout round now. I mean, they played in Mexico City. Julian Quinones and Raul Jimenez scored. They had gone 40 years since they last got out of the knockout stage. They had lost 7. They were 0-7.
0-7.
Trying to get out of this stage. But yeah, you're playing in Mexico City. Wow. It's an expanded World Cup, just like John's looking for an expanded playoff. There's an extra round. Okay. First time they've gotten to the round of 16.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. So there you go.
I'm in. Love it. All right, Barry, tomorrow we're at Stivers Ford in Montgomery where Price sells cars. Looking forward to being there in the showroom, telling you all about what's going on with the Ford and Lincoln models and their pre-owned vehicles. We'll tell you about that. We'll also check in with Jason Caldwell of AuburnUndercover.com. Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market, will join us as well. So we got a lot going on tomorrow in Theotis. I know you're having a hard time, but tomorrow will be our last show of the week due to the 4th of July holiday. We'll even extend it into Monday, and we'll be back on Tuesday for you. But don't fret. We're here tomorrow to get it all laid out for you.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.